So we are here with Matt. Matt is the owner of an Anytime Fitness here in Calgary Southeast. So this is the gym. You can see it's pretty huge. How many square feet is this though?
Like 3,500 square feet.
3,500 square feet gym. And he actually, believe it or not, actually started working. Had trainings in his garage, and then now he's transitioned to this huge ass gym. So we're gonna speak with Matt. We're gonna find out how he turned his life from like basically ex-military
Sniper teacher, not
sniper teacher, okay, ex-sniper teacher, to basically being a proud fitness entrepreneur, okay, down here in Calgary. So watch on and stay until the end of this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Okay, we are back. We are here with Matt. So Matt, tell us a little bit more about your journey from being like ex-military for 6 years, and then what motivated you to leave the military and then started kind of like your own, garage kind of MVP of a gym, minimal viable product of a gym, which is your garage. And I am fucking inspired by that. So tell me a little bit more about what that transition was like, what motivated you to do that?
So I joined the military because I come from a small town and there's no jobs. You either work at the paper mill or firefighter or cop, or you make no money. So I transitioned to the military because it was the easiest way out.
Right.
And then after the military, my family had moved from Ontario to Alberta, so I just came out here. My parents had purchased a restaurant. They were running a restaurant, and I've always done like little construction-y things. So I was doing some construction, and a bunch of guys would see me carrying barbells, kettlebells, and dumbbells to the job sites so I could work out before work. Mainly because I didn't believe in buying a gym membership at the time. Now that I own a gym, it's kind of a bad thought process, but I wanted to optimize my time. So before work, I would work out. I'd pull kettlebells out at lunch, work out, and then I'd go home and probably work out. And so years went by doing that, and then I met my wife, and she's like, well, we have a garage. Why don't you just buy more equipment and train people out of here? Because people kept asking me to train them.
Right.
And I had gone to school, I got a degree in exercise science, and
solid.
And so I started training people out of my garage with word of mouth spread. And then it got to the point where there was people would invite people to come train with me, and I didn't really know them, and they're coming to my house, and I have a family, and it started kind of getting on edge.
Right.
And I wanted to expand into a warehouse space. And then my dad, being entrepreneur himself, is like, well, there's this franchise, Anytime Fitness, let's go look into that. And then so we went, and I was still on the fence, and to this day I'm still always on the fence, because it's not that I don't like franchises, it's just when you're in a franchise, you have to do things the franchise
There's
way.
bureaucracy, there's red tape behind
you have to do things their way, and it's and I don't mind that, and it actually builds freedom into my life now, where I don't have to necessarily come up with my own marketing strategies and stuff like that. But then when I want to run personal training programs and stuff like that, that's where it's like, do I advertise it for Anytime Fitness, or do I advertise it for myself?
So you have a pretty strong personal brand as well, because you mentioned a lot of people start referring you, and
I'm all referral based. Mainly, I don't believe on advertising. I like my work to speak for itself.
Right.
So the two gentlemen you saw me training as you came up, that all started with me seeing the one guy have terrible posture, and I kept giving him tips in the gym just to help him move better, feel better, stuff like that. And then one day he was just like, hey, will you train me for a couple months so I can feel better? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. So we started putting the program. I started training him for a few months, and then he started getting incredible results. He doesn't look it, but he's in his 70s. And the other gentleman's in his 70s. And then now he brought me the other gentleman, and they're trying to get the rest of their buddies. So it's building this group that we call the Over the Hill Club. They're all older. But the thing is the hardest part for personal trainers is they're trying to sell you on them, and they'll get like abs and all this. And it's not that I'm out of shape, but I don't believe in like taking my shirt off to make sales. I believe in like, come, I'll get you some results, and then you can decide if you want to train with me.
For sure.
And
so so it sounds like we don't want to mislead them or misguide them that the end result is, you know, you get a six-pack abs, right? Like that's not, I mean, that can be a byproduct of it, but that can't be the main sole focus of it. And then they get so hung up that, oh, like I'm not there yet, and then I'm not seeing results, and therefore I should stop going, because that's the last thing that we want. We want to qualify them, we want to educate them to say that, hey, you know, it's overall better for your physical health, your mental health as well, and you know, it builds that resilience. It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you more energetic. That's the sell, right? Like typically. Yeah.
Basically, a lot of personal trainers, you'll see, like even celebrity trainers and stuff, they'll put someone through like a bodybuilding program, and then they have all these corrective exercises.
Yeah.
And if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I want to keep up with my grandchildren, the last thing I'm going to give that person is a corrective exercise.
Right.
What that person needs to do is move around. So we find safe exercises that get them moving around, increase their range of motion, and we do it gradually over time so that the next time they go to play with their grandchild or they want to run a marathon, like if someone comes to me to run a marathon and they're relatively healthy and they just need like program or something in terms of that, then I'm gonna cater how I train them to their goal. Like if you want to put on a ton of muscle, we're gonna bodybuild,
right? And
we're gonna focus on a protein-rich diet and all that. But if you come to me and you're like, yeah, I want to feel better because I feel like crap. Okay, we're gonna make you feel better. I'm not gonna, oh, but I also have a bum shoulder. Hey, do you want to fix that shoulder? Well, I want to feel better first. Okay, then we'll fix your shoulder later.
So it's a matter of priorities and also incorporating like nutrition and diet as part of it. Like you can't just get somebody that's like, you know, overweight, and then they come to you and say, Matt, I want to lose weight. I just want to come to the gym like 3 times a week. But then outside of the gym, they're like eating shit. Like they're eating KFC every day. They're eating McDonald's every single day. They're eating Tim Hortons every single damn day. So like that doesn't work as well, right?
No, like if in all honesty, like if you're overweight, the first thing you should do is pick one thing. Right. It's like if you give me someone who does drugs, drinks, smokes, is overweight, and has never exercised. Every time they think they want to get in shape, they got to do all 5.
Exactly.
Which is
too many.
Which is, like, to be blunt, is stupid.
Yes.
Because then you're just overwhelmed.
Correct.
Whereas if you just try and get to the gym 3 days a week, and then a couple months down the road, that turns into 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be that extreme. Like 3 days a week is fine. But for a couple months, they're consistent on going to the gym. Let's call it 3 months. Right? That's not a hard and fast rule. It's just they've been consistently coming for 3 months.
They develop the habit already.
Yeah. Then we start tackling their diet, but we don't change their whole diet because people freak out when you put limitations.
Exactly.
So instead of putting a limitation, it's like, okay, I want you to focus on, say it's a guy and he weighs 200 pounds.
Sure.
I want you to focus on eating 200 grams of protein every day.
Sure.
How do I do that? This is My Fitness Pal. It's a free app. Download it. Every time you eat, figure out what the size is, put it in there, and then by the end of the day, you need 200 grams of protein. They start doing that, and all of a sudden, they start losing weight and feeling better because they're focusing on something, right? And then after that, they're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of stalling. Like, how do I do more? It's like, okay, like, what are you eating? Oh, I eat this, this, and this. Okay, let's try and, like, take out candy and eat more fruit.
Right.
So and we do one thing at a time. Yeah. And then once they're done all that and they've been doing that, it's like, okay, now let's tackle smoking.
Correct.
Well, hopefully drugs first, but let's tackle smoking. Then let's tackle drinking. Then let's tackle this. But then at the same time, like, I'm also of the mindset, like, if I've worked really hard and I want a beer, I'm going to have a beer.
Right.
Right.
So it's a progressive thing, right? It's not overnight. Like I immediately work on all 5 things and then they freak out. They like, oh, this is too tough for me. And then they give up and then that's it. Okay. So let's transition a little bit to your entrepreneurial journey, right? Because as we spoke off camera earlier, COVID was a big hit, right, to the gym. How do you kind of climb back up, you know, because entrepreneurship is all about like, you know, failures and successes, yes, but more failures and successes if you may. So the COVID thing was a shithole, right? So talk to me about like what do you do at a point in time? How do you kind of conduct safe training if there were any? And then like how do you kind of get back to where you are today? Because today it seems like it's pretty doing pretty well. So how do you climb back up?
Well, during COVID, most gym owners, all they do is their gym, right? That's all they do. So they don't know how to pivot. Like,
Right.
I think most people are afraid to pivot. So COVID happened and you can't train. Everything's closed down. You've got someone telling you can and cannot operate your business.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to keep my business open, I just went back to doing construction during that time.
Okay.
And then I funneled all the money I made from construction into the gym to keep the gym
So you
alive.
still have to pay the rentals, like the landlord kind of.
There was government this and
Okay,
that, and I don't want to get political.
Okay.
It was
Let's not get into that. Yeah.
yeah, the government screwed everybody over.
Okay.
Outside of that, it is what it is.
Right.
But everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and they're panicking and they're having these long conversations in Zoom chats
Sure.
and everything like that. And I decided to not be a part of any of it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I can go. It's summertime. I can go build decks. I can build fences.
Yeah.
I can do all sorts of things and earn money to keep the roof over my house and my gym open. I just gotta like run lean. Like I'm not gonna buy anything extra during this time. So I did that. So while everybody's panicking, I'm doing this.
I love it.
Which allowed me to keep things open. Now, did it save us? No, like it's like we're just now getting back to some semblance of normal, but it's not even that normal. Like the gym industry has not gotten back since COVID.
It hasn't, but
the problem is now everybody like expects something different.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, like a gym business, we are giving you a facility that should be clean, well kept, nice equipment to train in. And then if you need personal training, you can get personal training on top of that.
Correct.
But like at the end of the day, everything that we give is pretty similar between all gyms.
I agree.
Like CrossFit gyms are the same as Orange Theories and F45s and stuff like that. They're giving group classes and stuff like that. Every big gym is trying to do that as well, but then they're also trying to have these open spaces.
Right.
But like the fact of the matter is there's plenty of choice, and you just got to cater to what it is. Like at my gym, we try and cater to a little bit older crowd, like over 25, and have that nice inviting environment.
Yeah.
Real clean gym, friendly environment, talk to people.
That was what I experienced. It was a very friendly and very hospitable vibe when I went in. And so let's kind of circle a bit back. I know you're tight on time, so let's kind of go back into the kind of the transition period. So you can see, like, Matt was very resilient, and he did whatever it takes to get him back on track, right? Rather than complaining like, oh, the government is not helping us, or like the landlords, and then he started blaming everyone. He didn't do that. He didn't blame anyone else. He took responsibility for everything that happened and said that, what, fuck it, like, I'm not gonna make any income from the gym. Why not I go back to construction? Why not I just go back to what I was familiar with, right? Because you've been doing a little bit of construction prior to the military, and
I just grew up doing construction.
He grew up in a family doing construction, so that was his bread and butter. And then he basically said, it's fine if the gym doesn't make money. I'm gonna go back to use my skill set, okay, which is my bread and butter, to go ahead and kind of make money and then pour that back into the gym. So I love it. I think that was a very inspiring move. So last question, right? Okay, so earlier on off camera, we were talking about, like, there were a lot of people out there that we see, right, that typically start making excuses, right, for things like, oh, I have no time to go to the gym, I have no time to work out, making excuses like I have no time to do this and that and all that. So what would you say was like the biggest motivating factor for yourself? Because you go to the gym every day, or you work out every single day. I myself as well. So what kind of helped you to tune that mindset, whilst at the same time still being able to enjoy the good things in life? Like you mentioned, like we enjoy our Netflix, right? We enjoy our, our time with our family and all that kind of stuff. So how do you keep it all balanced, like in that sense, like because we all have 24 hours a day.
You're not gonna like this. I don't keep anything balanced. So if I'm gonna work out, I'm just gonna do it every day.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make an excuse. If I gotta get up early, I'm getting up early to do it. If I have 10 minutes to myself that day, I might drop down and do as many push-ups as I can in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Saying you have no time to exercise is saying that you just want to sit on your ass and do nothing.
Correct. So it's a matter of priorities,
yep,
as opposed to not having the time to do it. Because
yep,
everybody has the same amount of time. Like the richest
everybody's
man has the same amount of time.
Everybody's got 24 hours in a day, and if Elon Musk can work out, then anybody can work out.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like super early in the morning is my time to work out. Then I work my business, but right at 3:00, my wife gets home from work. That is family time.
Correct.
But I've also incorporated exercise like running with my wife into that family time. So after work, we decompress by going for a run together and chatting. Now, it doesn't have to be the most intense sprint. It can just be a conversational pace. It could be a walk. It could be anything. It's just doing something. And then we watch TV shows we like together while cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite TV show, by the way?
The Challenge.
So you can watch The Challenge while enjoying a workout prior to that, hitting the gym in the morning, yet at the same time go to work, come back at work at 3 p.m. and all that can be done, right? So what's your excuse, man? Like
there's no excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
And there's hobbies like I shoot archery, I play tabletop war games. Like the thing is like if you want to do something, you'll find time. So if you say there's no time for that thing, you don't actually want to do it.
Correct.
So if someone was like, "Hey Matt, let's go do a pottery class," I could be like, "Ah, man, I don't have any time." What that translates to is, "Fuck no, that sounds boring as shit. I'm not going to go to a pottery class. That's not. I would rather drive nails through my hands. No, I'm good." But most people will make that excuse. "Oh, I don't have time." Why don't you just admit it and say you just don't want to do it?
Exactly.
Because like on the nights I don't want to cook, I don't go to my wife and say like, "Oh, like I'm just not feeling this food tonight." I go, "Hey, guess what? I want to eat pizza. I want to eat pizza." And when I don't want to go out to dinner with somebody, I just say no.
Yeah.
I think
just be upfront, right?
Yeah, like people just need to be honest and stop trying to impress people. Impress yourself.
Exactly. Like I love this so much because like for myself, I hear this all the time. Like people just outright just tell you like, "Oh, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to have dinner with you." I mean, just say no. I don't want to because I'm not interested in this dinner. I think that's a more transparent answer.
Yeah. Well, and people don't like it too because people will be like, "Hey, you want to go for a drink?" And it's like, "No." Well, why? Well, I got two answers and one you're not going to like, but it's the real one. And the real answer is, I don't like you enough to go for a drink with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm going to go for a drink, it's going to be with my wife or my parents or my brothers or
the people that you care about.
The people that are going to enrich my life and
the
people that I want to spend the most time with. And it's not an insult to anybody else. Right. It's just they should maybe go spend time with their family.
Correct. It's not like we don't like them. It's just that we have certain priorities over, them, but at the same time we let them know. We're blunt about it. We're like, "Look, I'm sorry, man. Like I genuinely don't want to spend time with you at the moment, but I want to spend time with my family, so I hope you respect that." And if they're a genuine friend,
you're way nicer than me. I'd just tell them to get fucked. I'd just be like, "Nah, man, I'm good." I don't know. My family time is more important and when I'm at work, I'm at work, It is what it is, but I do gotta get going.
Okay, so last one. So what closing advice do you have, or like what tip do you have for people that, want to kind of make that transition, from being like at a day job to trying to be an entrepreneur or trying to be, having that mindset whereby they can really be very determined to kind of, whether it's start a business or whether it's start working out. Like what critical advice would you give?
If you want to do anything, first is just start. Just do it. But know that you will be working a lot more than you are at your 9-to-5 job. Because even when I'm not working, if someone calls and there's a problem with my business, I've got to jump on it. Correct. You've always got to be willing to work. And if you're not willing to do the things, like if I walk into the bathroom at work and there's a piece of toilet paper on the ground, I don't go get an employee and be like, why didn't you clean this up? I just pick it up, throw it in the garbage, and then I empty that garbage so it looks clean. You got to be willing to do that. You're the janitor. You're the finance guy. You're everything.
Yeah, you're everything.
You're everything and nothing all at the same time. You're the most underpaid and overpaid employee.
Correct.
You're the most underslept and overslept. You're everything. You just got to be ready. Like, owning a business is hard, and it's like, honestly, I'd rather have a 9-to-5 job myself.
It's your baby right now, so you're taking care of this baby at the moment.
Yeah, it's like having a kid, except, you know, your kid grows up and does their own thing. This thing never grows up, and basically you build it to where you can sell it.
Correct.
Don't think of it as something forever, because no business is forever.
All right. I love that you did this, Matt. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing
Pleasure.
this, man. All right.
All right, man. Have a great day.